Guys, Juggalo23451, and if you see here, we have two LED strips. They're approximately 19 inches long, and I got this from Oznium.com. I always get all my LEDs through Oznium.com because they're uber bright and they're decently priced as well. These are flexible, waterproof, you name it. That's what they are. And what I'm going to do first is go ahead and strip these two wires, the gold and silver. So that shouldn't take any time. And I think they're roughly 22 gauge. And then always twist your wires. Same deal with the silver. 22 gauge. Now I probably don't have to do it this long, but it's alright for where I'm going to be installing them. Alright, we have these installed, or not installed but stripped. And what I'm going to do, since I'm thinking about cable management, before you install anything, think about cable management. And I'm going to install it right here. Or not install, I should say, route the cables up there, then up to the top where the terminal block is. And I'm basically, going to keep this wire length the way it is, and I might trim it later on, but I might want to reuse the LEDs, so that's why I want this length of wire. It's probably a good, probably 2 to 3 feet at least, or more. And what I'm going to do is just simply install the LEDs right here, like that. And I did test it out, and these LEDs are really bright. I had my fiance Jamie hold them into place, and I also made sure that the chipset LEDs here are not distorted. So let me go ahead and take this LED off and then try to find a strip. And they use 3M tape, so it's the good stuff. And it's always a pain to take off at first. Also, when you're pulling it off, you might want to hold the places where you're pulling, because sometimes the strip, if you don't have it on all the way, it may come off. So just word of caution on that. And then pretty much this is a one shot, one kill type of deal, because if you mess up and you got to pull it off and it's stuck on there, this tape is probably going to come off the LED and it's going to stay right on your case, and it's a pain in the butt to get off. So I'm just going to slowly make sure that it's along this rivet, or bracket I should say. And then once it's installed, I'm going to go ahead and push down all the way to make sure it's working properly. And I got it stuck. It's completely stuck. This is what I'm talking about. Like, once it's on and it might come off. So I gotta redo it. I'm trying to figure out why it's turning, and I think I might have gotten it into the corner a little bit. So on the next one, I know not to go all the way towards the edge. But I think it'll look cool because some of the LEDs will go straight and then some of them will actually go this way. Okay. So we have that installed, and now I'm going to go ahead and pull the wire up from this hole at the very bottom right here, and I'm just going to shoot it on up with all the other cables, and just basically try to pull as much wire as I can, and I'm going to look to see if it's the way I want it, and make sure that the LED is secure and all that stuff. So I'm going to have it where it's going to be long enough where the wire won't interfere if I do decide to use these drive bays in the front. So I have that one installed. Next, we're going to then go ahead and install this LED strip. It's going to be the same process. So let me get that installed real quick. Alright, that one's installed, and now Jamie will be able to zoom up on the hole that I'm doing. It's going to be on the, I guess it'll be her left, and it's going to be right at the end of the radiator right here. And I'm going to go ahead and try to route as much cable there so I can get a good grip on it. And then I'm going to route this cable up and around the power supply. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not pulling the LED off. And it seems to be tangled on the cable, it looks like. So that means I gotta unhook this real quick. There we go. Didn't want to come off. Now I can go back to routing the cable where I want it. Alright, now let me check again. Make sure it's going to be able to go on the floor of the case, or the bottom, so it's not going to interfere with any parts whatsoever. And now, pretty much all you have to do is make sure these wires are twisted, and then the gold is positive, silver is negative. Now, as you guys know, I have a terminal block, and it's positive, negative all the way around. It's 12-volt source, so these will work. And where I'm going to do them is probably right here, if I can get the wires to stay, of course. So I might route one set here, and then the other set here. So let me go ahead and do that. Take the wire, twist it, and then if I can, I'm going to go ahead and try to make sure I don't get this intertangled, because I got a whole slew of wires. Okay, here's the positive one, and I'm just going to stick it in if I can, or I might have to strip it longer and actually wrap it around the bolt if it doesn't work the way I want it. But I think it should work, because basically I'm using these two dealies, or these two terminal block holders or wires, crimper deals, and then basically pinching the wire against the positive. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. If I can get the wire and just make sure that they're okay. And and hopefully when I screw the screw down it'll become pinched. I'm having trouble with it, unfortunately. So I'll just route it upwards instead. And hopefully that will pinch that wire, and I didn't get it. This is more or less showing you what it takes to mod, I guess you want to call it, because there is times when you think you got everything straight, you got everything perfect, and all of a sudden it doesn't work. But now if I do pull on it a lot, it seems it will come out. So I got to be careful about moving wires and not pulling these really thin wires out. Okay, looks pretty good. That works. That's in. And now I'm going to route the other set to this one and this one. And then this wire, let me go ahead and make sure these are twisted. And I think the easiest, what I would do is just route it up through the bottom, going up this way when I unscrew it. That seemed to be the best way to get these little suckers to work. And then sometimes if it's long enough, you could probably take the screw all the way out. This is what I would probably do, and I'm probably going to do that once I fix everything. But make the wire long enough to where it actually wraps around the whole screw, if you want to do that. So we'll see if this works. Now I gotta make sure that I installed it correctly. And I did. I forgot to mention, basically Oznium has these color coded. The copper colored wire is positive, the silver is negative. So sorry for not mentioning that, but I do have a video of me showing how I hooked it up to a Molex connector and it worked. I think I gotta use my tweezers if I can find them real quick. Now I know a lot of you guys will say, well, I don't want to see him mess around, I want to see the finished product. Well, this is for people who are actually installing these kinds of bots. You know, it does take time and energy. It's not like you hook it up and it's going to work 100% all the time. You know. So we'll see if that works. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light. I'm going to turn on the computer. And what we should see is a whole bunch of orange. So let me go ahead and turn off my computer, and there we have it. Now keep in mind the window is about right here, so I have these two LEDs going in like that. So it'll look pretty sweet. It's not going to be too powerful of an orange, but just enough to give a nice ambiance, I guess you want to call it. And I'll show you a video with it all installed, like the window installed and everything. Also, if you look here, I'm actually using the 1500 watt Silverstone finally. Why? Because I had to order brand new cables, and this cost $40. It was like $29 for the cables, and then $10 or $11 for shipping, so that brought up to $40. So I'm gonna get these cables sleeved from someone else for the Win PC, which has a 3-day turnaround, they told me. and I'll be using their own custom sleeving. So I gotta do that either Friday or Saturday, because Intel LAN Fest is right around the corner. And I guess that's it for this video. Comment, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.